Welcome to Born with Purpose. I'm your host, DA Born. Like, share, and subscribe. Now, all right. All the interviews that we do on the real, they're authentic. I don't know what they're going to say, but this is an exception, all right? This person I do know that I'm interviewing right now, he is behind the scenes of all the street videos we are doing, and I want to ask him if he had a chance to vote today, who he'd vote for, and there's none other than my guy, Josh Grant. What's going on, man?
All right, man. Glad to be in the interview.
Yeah, they got to finally see the face behind the stuff. So, all right. Of all the street interviews we did, people we've interviewed, many people we talked to, very interesting people. I'm just asking you first and foremost. I didn't even ask you ahead of time or whatever, but if you had a chance to vote today, who are you leaning towards voting election day?
For me, if I were to vote, it'd definitely be Pierre Poilievre. Okay. One, for me personally, especially with the terror threat now, and the one I believe who's able to stand up most to him is definitely Pierre Poilievre. Mm-hmm. I don't really have much faith in Carney. He doesn't really have that firepower and the guts to really confront him face to face. But I feel like Pierre Poilievre is just more of a no nonsense guy, just straight to the point, common sense guy who will straight up stand up to Trump.
Right. You're a young guy. What?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Hey. So is this your first time voting?
I voted before a couple times, a couple elections.
All right. You might ask me, well, who did you vote for last election?
Last election, I think I actually don't remember. Because in the federal election, I don't think I voted in the snap election because I think that was the first time I was legally allowed to vote in the federal election. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I think no, it was 2019. That was when the official election happened. I think I voted I think
they had 2 years back to back. I think
2019 and 2021. 2021 was the snap election.
Okay.
Let me think. I think I probably voted for Trudeau back then. Okay. I think ever since the pandemic in a couple of years, my views definitely changed to be a lot more conservative, especially when it comes to my Christian faith. Growing as a Christian with the Liberal Party, especially them supporting certain things that I personally, as a Christian, cannot stand behind.
Right. What is it about the Liberal Party and as a Christian, because we're both Christian guys here, and so what is it about the Liberals and your Christian faith that kind of contradict?
Well, I'd say definitely the things on abortion and homosexuality, especially with Justin Trudeau. He was all for it. Mm-hmm. And that's something we can't stand for as Christians, no matter how controversial it may be.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of people are voting based on the economy and stuff like that. I find even with me, Christians, I have to vote on my belief values before the economy. The economy is important as well. Yeah. But talking about the economy, what greatly concerns you about the economy in Canada in terms of what you do, and what is your biggest concern moving forward?
Your biggest concern, I don't really know too much about economics, but I think definitely the job market has kind of been crazy, especially with all the influx of immigrants. I personally don't mind if immigration, as long as they know how to do it properly and as long as they behave themselves. But I think how Justin Trudeau did it, and most Canadians would agree that he went way too far. He definitely dropped the ball on this one, especially since there have been a lot of issues with international students and their visas and them trying to cheat the system and find a loophole. And now there's even aside from the immigration issues, there's this whole job market crisis where there's so many applicants but not as many jobs, and not as many companies are hiring, so there's a lot more increased competition. And I feel like last year when I was out of a job, I feel like I could definitely feel the effect of all the immigration, especially with certain bias to a certain group. I won't say specifically, but I think most people know what I'm talking about.
I hear you. That is a concern. The job market is always in a concern. I guess my question I want to ask you is that, especially a lot of people your age, they're very concerned about, they want health care, they want all these things that the government can provide for not just themselves but for others. And don't knock me, I like those things too, but at the same time I'm tired of all the taxes being paid. If you had a choice of higher taxes, but lots of government benefits, or less taxes, more money in your pocket, and less government benefits? Which one would you
Ooh,
choose?
that's a tough one. It's like definitely one thing I do like about liberals, even though I wouldn't vote for them, is like how they really just put money into the healthcare system and all the government benefits. That's something I would give them a point on. But at the same time, I definitely wouldn't mind lower taxes. Although personally, I'm still young, so I'm not making as much money. I don't really have as many financial responsibilities. So I don't think personally for me as a young person, taxes affect me as much, especially since I think there are like a bunch of tax credits that are available for lower income earners. But if I had to choose one, I'd say probably somewhere. I hope ideally it'd be somewhere in the middle where we can still maybe lower tax a little bit and still keep some degree of like all the public services. But if I had to choose one, I think speaking for most of the country, I think appreciate lower taxes. Yeah, hopefully they'd be able to like find a way to really be able to subsidize healthcare and all these government services, which I really think are important and for all the people. But I think when I get older, I think we'd all appreciate some lower taxes. But it depends on like how much lower. Because if it's only probably like a couple 1-2% or 5% for a lot of people, it's not going to make much of a difference.
Yeah.
So it's if that's the case, you might as well not just change anything at all and just like keep the taxes as is to make sure it like goes to things that people need, like healthcare, social services, all that type of jazz.
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world where you can't have low taxes and a lot of government benefits. But, you know, like I hear what you're saying. Like, if you're going to cut taxes, you might as well cut them. Give us a good cut, especially if it means less benefits. At least give us more money in our paychecks, more money in our bank accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, about that. That reminds me of how since the carbon tax is going away soon, I think one thing I think a lot of Canadians enjoyed was carbon rebates, because I think it's like for a lot of people it's like around 100 something every like 4 months. I think that's something we'd enjoy. And there's going to be one final payment starting in April. Yeah, that's just something I want to toss in there.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, take what they give you, right? You know what I mean? We could always use extra money where here and there and stuff like that. Oh man, so that's cool. I know elections coming up very, very shortly. It should be an interesting race. Where can they find you? Because my guy has a channel on YouTube as well. Where else can they find you?
All right. My YouTube page is called Camera Disciple Josh. That's my YouTube handle, so just type that in the search description. For YouTube, for Instagram, sorry, it's cameraman_Josh. They'll be in the description as well. Leave them in the video so you can check them out, and make sure you give those pages a follow.
Yeah, follow my guy, man. If you appreciate the camera work he's been doing, go check his link. It's in the description. Give it a follow, give it a subscribe. But yeah, it's we'll see what happens, and let's see how this all turns out. April 28th. All right, Born with Purpose. Till the next video, we're out.
Peace out. God bless.